This is KixPicks, and today we have something new and interesting, and all of you guys was waiting for this video. I promised you a long time ago that I will be doing a series showing you how to make your own pick at home, and this series was targeting beginners. As you guys all know, when I started making this channel, it wasn't about lock picking. It was mainly about making picks, and the first video that I made on my YouTube channel, it was talking about how I made my mini pick, the emergency pick. That video encouraged me to continue and start making picks. I promised you that I'm gonna make a series on how to make your pick at home. I got extremely busy for the last year. I didn't have the time to make the series. After I saw D-Mac doing his series of how he makes his picks, he made an excellent job to cover most of the things that I was about to talk about. This is why I changed my perspective on making my own series. I'm gonna be focusing more on the techniques that I use, not just the basics. Of course, D-Mac covered everything for you to make your own pick at home. I recommend that you have to go and watch his series. And there is a couple of guys who used to make videos. A lot of people gave advices. I can put the links also in the description because I myself learned a lot from their videos. Today, I'm trying to make my series a bit different. I'm not gonna show you how I do my things. It's gonna be more about talking and answering questions and giving you a variety of options. Let's start with how a pick is made. This is my Phoenix handle, one of my picks that it's famous because easy to grab. By the way, my hands is extremely huge. I'm gonna compare it with the Peterson, which everyone is very familiar with. So as you can see, this is the difference in size. As you can see, my hand is huge, and this is why I came out with this design to make it thin and to can hold it for a long time. And this was inspired from ratty oak. What is a pick made of? For example, if we have a pick like this, it's called a full tang, and this means that the metal part or the pick part goes from the top of the pick until the end. Peterson, for example, this is a commercial pick. This is not a full tang, the rest is plastic, and the pick goes until here only, and then they mold it in plastic. So it's a half tang commercial pick. There is any commercial picks that make full tang? Yes, you'll find multi-pick. You'll find the Southord. Let me guys show you what's happening here. This is a Southord pick. They bring the metal part from top to bottom, then they weld two pieces of metal on the sides. So it gives you the best feedback because it's all metal and it's welded together. So it's a thick metal, it gives you amazing feedback. And also multi-pick does the same thing. As you guys can see, it's the same idea. What's the difference between those? And also, who else does a full tang? Lockmasters. It's a German company. It's called Vent. They make amazing picks also. And most of their picks are designed by Lock Noob. He is an amazing... I'm not going to introduce Lock Noob, but I'm just going to say that he's amazing in designing profiles. He's one of the best guys who can design profiles, along with other people like Jimmy Longs and Christina Palmer. This is a Jimmy Long. It's not a full tang. The pick ends around here. But the difference is he tried to focus more on the handle. He made it, as you guys can see, longer, thinner, wider, so you can hold it. It have the design in it, and the pick itself is a bit wide from here. So you can rest your finger to to feel the pins that you're setting. So he created the design, and when he came to the pick profile, he chose something that can fit most of the things. He made it very thin from here, so it doesn't overset other pins. He worked few years. I was talking to Jimmy Longs. He did a lot of research. Also, before I made my picks, I was talking to Christina Palmer. I was talking with her before I made my designs. He did the same thing. He was talking to Christina Palmer, and she did an amazing research about what metal to use. And I'm gonna give you a link to all her conclusion for you guys to understand if you are a nerd and want to get into the details. Who else does a full tang picks? Lulak Tools. They make amazing picks. They also focus. I don't have one. I don't own one right now, so I'm sorry I cannot show you. But they also make a full tang, and they make a metal handle, and they make it larger and very nice to hold and to grab. This is why they became very famous, and they're selling well, and everyone in the lock picking community, almost everyone owning a set of Andrew's picks. So what's the difference between a commercial pick and a custom pick? I want to show you those ones I got from PKR Labs. Amazing pick maker. One of my favorites. He sent me those because he's a nice guy. If we compared, for example, custom picks, I'm not gonna be showing my picks because I don't have to be a show off. I'm talking about picks, so I have to show everything. This is a radio oak. As you guys can see, it's a custom pick. It's a full tang, and those are PKR Labs. I'm sorry, guys. I have a problem in pronouncing. I don't know, it's so difficult in saying 3 letters, but this is a half tang, and this is a PKR Lab, and it's a half tang. What's the difference between a half tang and a full tang? If we're talking scientifically, there is a little bit more feedback because the metal goes all along the handle, but practically your finger is touching the metal, so it doesn't make a huge difference. In my opinion, yes, full tang gives a better feedback, but for example, if you took a Peterson or a Jimmy Longs, and they are commercial picks, they're not custom, they will give you a good feedback too. So it's not that big of a difference, just in the design. And when talking about custom picks, it's just in the design. Half tang are less expensive than a full tang because the amount of metal is used in a full tang is more, and in a half tang is less. So this make the pick a little bit cheaper. Of course, depending on who's making the pick. For example, if you're buying a PKR Lab like this pick, it won't be cheap even if it's no tang, because look at the work. Look at this is a type of wood. This is a different type of wood, and this is the inlay. And I know how he does it, but I'm not sure if I can do something that good. We're gonna cover this in this series and how you can mix 2 types of wood together, and we're gonna cover the design and everything. This is why I told you my series will be a bit different, because gonna be talking more. Since DMAC covered the everything on how to make a pick, I'll try to go deeper in the details on how you can make designs and how you can mix 2 types of wood together and how you can cut them. And I'm not going to be working on camera and showing you. I'm just going to cover the things, answer the questions. And if you guys need to know something more, I can make a video especially for this. If you guys have any questions if a lot of people were asking the same question, I will be making a video showing you how I do it. Back to the main point. Before we're gonna start this series, I want to show you, we were talking about the half tangs and the full tangs, and this is the general topic of the commercial picks and the custom picks. What's the difference between them and why they are expensive is because a commercial pick the metal is either cut by a water jet or a laser cutter. But the custom picks, it doesn't have to be all like this. You bring a piece of metal and you just do the grinding and the sanding until you give the shape that you want. This is a pick I'm working on. As you can see, I'm going to say about mixing types of wood. We have 1, 2, 3 4 types of wood, and we have brass inside. So we have a mahogany wood. We have a peach pine. We have fingy wood. We have a red oak, and we have a brass plate in the middle. If you guys can see, this pick is not finished, so you will not see the grains, you will not see the figure of the wood really clear. But this is what I was talking about, of how to mix different types of wood together and how you can make the design of the pick and how you can make the design of the profile. We'll be covering this in this series. In the next video, I'll be talking about what metal to use, different types of metals, commercially and custom picks. We will be talking about what is the options for you to start to make your picks. For example, should you start from scratch by getting a piece of metal, or you can get something that's already formed, and you can, I'm forming this myself, but let me show you quickly what I'm talking about. And you just take it, you sand it, you polish it, you make a handle for it, you cut the scales for it, you cut the screws, and you use it and make a custom pick out of it. By the way, Radio, PKR Labs, DMAC, Joe Picks, Picksmith, XB Mobs, everyone that make custom picks use this technique also. They don't always shape the pick, and Matt Lockpit, Deviant Lockpicker, they all do the same thing. They will, not every time, but I'm saying it's okay to do it, because they can get a pick like this, and they will make it a custom pick. So if you got a metal part and you made a scales for it, it's still a custom pick, because it's customized, because you can change the thickness, the polishing, even the design, or you can keep it as it is. And we'll be covering this in the next video. I hope you guys will like this series. I'll try to make it different. As I said, I don't want to be copying DMAC or doing the same points that he covered. I'll try to make giving you a different vision, different ideas on how you can make your picks. Before I was targeting beginners, now everyone who can make picks, maybe they will learn something from this video, because I myself, when I watched DMAC video, I learned a lot of things. We do things differently. And Picksmith, for example, he was talking that he make the metal first, then the wood. My friend also from Daniel from Italy, Lambada too, is also an excellent pick maker from Italy. He makes the wood first, Radio makes the wood first, then they start forming wood first like this, then they start forming the metal. Usually what I will do, this is what I prefer. There's different schools. I'll make the metal first, then I'll shape the wood on the metal, which is very easy for me. Different people think that this is not the right technique, but at the end, there's nothing called right and wrong. It's what suits you and what's better for you. We're gonna talk later on in this series on the material of the scales, the wood, and how to mix wood together, and the different epoxy and acrylics. Do you buy them or do you make them? We're gonna cover all this shortly, not in details in this series. So see you guys around, and hope you're gonna enjoy this series. Thank you.